97-97 Tigers in Indian tonight. Lots of Tiger texts coming in. I think too much is made about the confidence in Tork. His manager said to the media the next stop is next to him on the bench. Send him to AAA and give him a chance to get it right. I'm tending to agree with that. I don't think today's the day, but I think this Cleveland series, I could see giving him the Cleveland series and making the decision. They have an off day, right, before a weekend series? I got to double check that. I think they have an off day Thursday. That maybe they send him if he has a bad series. Now he did have 2 doubles yesterday, which is nice. It's a start, but
it's a start. Yeah, but they do have Thursday off.
Okay,
before returning home for the series against Houston.
Okay, that is the earliest I can see something getting done. But it's also not just him. It's probably Parker Meadows too. I don't know that they do it with Colt Keith just yet.
It doesn't sound like they're. I mean, it was almost like the threat to Tork. Hey, you don't turn around, you're going to sit on the bench. That to me doesn't say, hey, you don't turn around, you go in the minors. It means you're going to the bench. So I don't think he plans on doing anything with Tork other than if he doesn't hit, and he responded yesterday, so he did hit, that's where he'll go. But the consequence for others might be different. Like I said, Urshela's coming back. Mm-hmm. And when Urshela comes back and one of the few guys who was hitting, it's going to take somebody's roster spot. You've got Ibanez who's back. I mean, I know they've got this commitment to Colt Keith, and they said they don't want him looking over his shoulder, but Colt Keith's not hitting. And, I mean, doesn't even look close to turning things around. I wish he was, because it's a guy I'm really rooting for, but he's hitting $152 on the year. His slugging percentage is 172.
You know what's funny about this is that the first public pressure came before Sunday's game. And he actually played well. Maybe pressure is exactly what he needs.
Maybe. But it's scary when you look at the team of how many guys are not hitting again. This is like the third year in a row, at least, where we're talking about the ineptitude with the offense right now. And it's been same culprit over at shortstop who's not getting it done. Now you've got, a rookie playing second base who's not hitting. You got basically a rookie playing center field who's not hitting. And now you've got your first baseman, the power hitter on the team, where if he was hitting 216 like he's hitting, but he had like 6 or 7 home runs, you'd live with it because that's kind of baseball today. But he's got no home runs.
You know what's funny about this is as far as like the right here right now, the Detroit Tigers, they're over 500 and this is cool. And I'm leaning into them being a winning baseball team. And this weekend, dropping 3 games with the Yankees hurts. I'm not sure I cared about a 3-game sweep either any of the last 3 or 4 or 5 Mays. I just, there was no reason to care. And I care more this year. And so my angst is up and it bothers me. And that's cool. And that's cool for the here and the now. And it's fun to care. But my concerns over Tork and anybody, they aren't short term. They're long term. Like these have to be cornerstone pieces. They don't have to be, but it would be extraordinarily helpful if the guy you took at 1-1 is a good player for you, and every passing day, series, week, month where he's not acting like it is more reason to be concerned that he's never going to be that piece.
Yeah. Another guy they could consider moving around or moving out would be Zach McKinstry. Mm-hmm. He's kind of this guy without a position. He's not an everyday guy. And
position flexibility. Right now, he's the only other guy playing shortstop for him, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And he's not hitting. But does that open the door to let somebody else come up? But the problem is they don't have a shortstop in the minors, at least in the high minor league system.
248-539-9797. No solutions, but at what point do we blame the hitting coaches since several players are struggling? That's from Chris and Warren. Well, I mean, they got to look in the mirror. They know those are sort of behind the scenes conversations that are had. So Jim in St. Clair Shores is everyone talked about holding the hitting coach accountable.
Well, here we
go. A lot
go.
of guys that aren't hitting. Is that the hidden coach's job? The hitting coach's job, I think, is what he wrote hidden. But I still want to wait and see what Torkelson. Still want to wait and see. Torkelson, if I'm not mistaken, hit 20 or his 30 home runs last year in the second half. He has been bad. I give him another week to play. If nothing, then send him down. That's from Steve Downriver.
Well, he picked things up significantly starting in May, and really, I think had a special second half of that season. But through the first 125 at bats for him, it's been bad. He's got the 11 doubles, which is great, leading the American League, but no other extra base hits on the team.
For clarification's sake, Jeff Rieger just sent in. AJ Hinch said those comments before Saturday's game when she went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and a double play. So,
and then he had the 2 doubles yesterday. So.
Pete in Macomb says, send down Meadows and Keith, call up Baду and Buddy Kennedy, give Tork a week off. If he doesn't start to turn it around, you give me a 3-day benching. Then give him a 3-day benching then. But I do think Water will find its level with Tork. As far as Meadows and Cole Keith, can't have both of them out there. It's from Pete in Macomb Township.